Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Social Media Fridays on Monday. Each week we meet here to talk about what happened this week, or last week, in the world of social media. First topic tonight is one. I think it's good that we're always picking up the bad things that social media does, and I think this is one that social media is very effective in. In some restaurants, signs are appearing, hate has no business here. And I think social media has played a role with this. And it's empowered restaurant owners to make this stand, and they would get positive feedback via social media. What do you guys think? Nothing.
Yeah, I think there is an element of amplification, that something gets spread quite widely and by the use of social media, and other establishments might join that movement. So in that sense, yeah, it makes sense to say that social media can play a good part in spreading that movement more easily and more broadly.
Goodness, we've got a viewer already. Thank you very much. Your participation makes what we do worthwhile. And any other comments on this before we move on? Okay. Go ahead.
It's really not actually a comment. It's just that I think anything that you share on social media, and you should actually pick your words very carefully. There's a message that comes from a community, I mean, there's no hate here is a very good message, but I don't know if I really like the lower area, which pretty much goes in detail. All you have to say is there's no hate here. That solves the purpose. But then, writing too much, it could also create a negative effect and a positive effect depending on the community. And I don't think restaurants need to even put such a poster at all. I mean, like, if they have to put, they could just keep it simple. It's okay, I think.
Okay. Our next item on our run list is an app. Just when you thought that the world had enough apps, along comes Milos Jovek, whose team has written an app called Sifter, which will go out and crawl, find a daily feed for you from of you and your friends' favourite memories. Any comments? Did anybody install this, by the way? I haven't. I'm in the run-up to Christmas. I've got my mobile turned off.
I am just installing it while I just noticed the post. I was installing this app to see what it really is about, and I'm still waiting. I think we can do. If you want to have reviews on the app, we can put it in the end, not just yet, because it's still downloading.
All right, my hair is loading it. Thank you very much. And I just realised I didn't introduce you guys. Masataki Wasa is CEO of wasaweb.net, he's also a Google top contributor on the AdSense and also the Google Plus Help community. Meher Bhagat is a human resources dynamo and social media queen from Delhi in India. And Masataki comes from the UK, and so does Tim. Tim lives in the frozen wastelands to the north of England. He is a conversion rate optimization specialist and also proud to call himself an SEO. He's a Google top contributor on the Google My Business community. All right, so Meher's going to load this app, Sifter, and we'll talk about it later on. Facebook is joining Google in open sourcing its artificial intelligence hardware. Well, I have nothing to volunteer. Masataki has to step out for a moment. Meher, do you got any comments on this one?
We've been talking about this, a few times in previous episodes, and we discussed about how safe really is it. Now, when we realize that the most influential data mining company, Google, and widely spread Facebook is collaborating on something, it does become scary, because these two firms are basically amazing and in a term also dangerous. If used well, I think I mean, the app they're actually within the platform that they're really working on has its pros and cons, but to what extent will they be using this platform would really make a difference. I mean, handing over, facial recognition has been in for last 2 years. They've been talking about it, how to go about it, and finally when they're collaborating, it really becomes, brings out the fear. We talked about, facial recognition on pictures, and Facebook recently launched on that they can, read your phone photographs and tag them automatically if you choose to. So, I mean, how safe are we really? I mean, that's the whole part. I don't feel safe actually. The first thing that I remember saying that previously also, the first thing that I revoked access to Facebook on my mobile, because I don't like the idea. It really, was sad, because I don't want that. I don't want people being tagged on my pictures on my phone. I mean, until I upload them, and then, I can do that personally. And now that we realize that they are going to actually, they can, any picture that I upload will automatically be not tagged, but they can know who's in the picture. So just imagine you having a picture and there is an unknown terrorist behind you. It's safe. It's safe for them, so that they can understand the location of that particular person. But how safe are we really? I don't know. I mean, like, it really gives me chills for some reason. I don't know if Masataki is back. He can give some reviews. If Tim has something to say. And Tim, why not you? How safe are you?
No, that's our rule, Meher. We never ask a question directly. Okay, I take your point. Facial recognition, it's becoming more and more prevalent, and in the wrong hands, or at least used badly, it's not a good thing for society. Or at least we don't think it is anyway. All right, let's move on to the next, the rise and fall of messaging apps. I prefer Yahoo Messenger. I was really annoyed when Microsoft bought Skype because it was a simple unit before they changed it into Skype for Business and made it part of the Office suite of products. Or I'm not sure if it's part of the Office suite, but it's certainly a business tool. It's certainly integrated into Microsoft now. Any comments?
Well, article was certainly more about, why do apps really fail? Why was, why do some apps with not many features really are successful? For some reason, I like, like anyone who has, who uses Messenger apps, like you've been using Yahoo. I did like Yahoo because it was simple. There were a couple of other features. It is not changing constantly, not, it wasn't expanding largely. I mean, like, if you look at WhatsApp, WhatsApp has added new features, but it hasn't drastically changed. It's simple, sophisticated, does the job. So I think a lot of people, when they build up new Messenger apps, they integrate a lot of other things, a lot of features into it. It really becomes complicated. It really is not simple anymore. So a lot of people do not use those apps, and there are other reasons why do apps really fail. I like it simple. Even I like Yahoo for a while. I'm done with this. If someone wants to really get to know in detail, in depth of why Messenger app works and why it does not, I think this article is a great tool for understanding.
Yeah. Do you use Snapchat, Maher?
Not really. Are you on it? Because I remember Edwin was there.
I'm not. No. I'm old.
I promise the day you are on Snapchat, I'll start using it.
All right. Tim Capper still uses those handheld phones, the hand phones. Yeah, he's got red phones all over his desk to various places. Or so the story goes. No, I haven't seen one. All right. Okay, let's move on to the next. And, this is about SEO questions. I think we can pass on this one. Unless anyone wants to make a comment.
Well, I think this is about the search function on Google Plus, and it's not good. I think let's put it that way. I think generally speaking, the search function on Google Plus has been quite shambolic and embarrassing.
Yeah. Looking at the photos that I posted on the SEO questions community, the one that amazes me is that SEO questions doesn't even show up for dumb SEO questions community. But all's not lost because we can tell people not to search on Google Plus, but to search or just do a normal ordinary organic search, and that will give them the community as the #1 result.
Yeah, I honestly don't know why the search function on Google Plus is so bad. I mean, I don't think there's any other word for it. It is bad.
So if you're watching at any time, this is your homework for today. Please do a search on Google+, assess its value, and press the Shift and the @ symbol to open up a help window to report a fault to Google. And if you think that the search is bad, and it certainly is as of today anyway, the 22nd of December 2015, yeah, go ahead and tell them. Maybe they might listen. Okay, I don't know what this is about, Meher. Some tweets in your timeline may not show up in chronological order anymore. Twitter's new experiment might let go of chronological order tweets in exchange for quality content. That's earth-shattering.
Well, I haven't actually seen this change so far because I've been waiting for it to see whether there's a change in my homepage or in my phone. I didn't see any change so far, so maybe they're still working on it, or maybe they haven't given access to a lot of users to review. But I pretty much don't like it. The concept is not good. It's good in a way, but it's, maybe they'll add a new tab that gives this feature. That would be a very good idea instead of actually changing the way things are right now. Adding a tab like that we have for people, a list, and not list, basically search. So if they add a tab to this particular feature, it would be good, not exactly changing the homepage style or the way it's right now.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the next. It's titled, Parents, are you aware of what information your kids are sharing online? Isn't social media an amazing place to be? Because everyone around you is on it. Everything is just one click away, but so are online stalkers, predators, and psychopaths. Apparently this article is a must-read for parents whose kids' teens are on social media. And apparently 81% of kids are on social media. I have to admit that I took on a Facebook account to keep up with my kids. I think I was more check up on my kids, but yeah. I'm no longer a Facebook user. I'm a recovering Facebook user. I've been clean now for about 19 months.
That's fine. That's fine. I don't think you need to keep tabs on kids anymore. It just doesn't really work if you are not, very well in tune with, I think, their code words. You'll never get to know what they're really talking about, because everyone, all the teens usually, they prefer talking in code words, and they've listed, actually. I was amazed and kind of shocked, because I'm not married. I do have plans to have future kids, and if I see these kind of code words preparing my kids, I might really go mad at some point of time. And I think it's really hard for parents to check on their kids just because technology is too advanced for them. And I think it's really, the concern to keep tabs. The concern is to keep them aware. I think that's where parents can, really, really work well with their kids. They can keep them informed, keep them, kind of aware of what goes on online, the kind of people they should be staying away from. That really helps, because if you're not in good talking terms with your kids, there's no matter whatever you do in the world, nothing is really going to work out for you. And so it's with girls, everyone. I mean, like, even if you're logged on to LinkedIn or Facebook, anywhere, even we today get so many spammers, so many people who are just data mining our, details. So it's everywhere. It's just, I think, the way of understanding who is who.
Yep. Anybody else?
Masataki should have a lot to say about it because he deals with lost stuff. He's handling
What? What? Whom do I deal with? What? I think one of the main issues with this is the interesting bit I found on that article is the misaligned privacy concerns, and teens seem to be less concerned with identity theft, damaged reputation, legal issues, conflict with predators, and they're more concerned with privacy from authority, teachers, future employers, parents. So I think teenagers, children in general, I think are pretty bad at assessing risks. And I'm not 100%. I think that's where education comes into play. That you have to make sure that children are aware of the consequences of using social media, and it's not just parents' job to ensure that happens. It is really, if you like, a societal thing. It should be done not just with parents, but also at school, for the community, extended family, if you like, so that children have a better awareness of the risks and hopefully a better understanding of the risks involved.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure if it's our last article, but this one I think we should look at. I'm sure we all saw the one about the North Carolina citizens who were roundly scolded by social media for stopping a solar plant because it would steal the sun's energy. This was an article which really should be looked at in conjunction with Snopes, because it turns out that the reason that they rejected it was not because it was stealing the sun's energy. That comment was made, but it was made by an unrelated person in the gallery in the council. This particular town already has 2 solar power plants, and their concern was that the use of the land really was earmarked for other purposes better suited to the community, and they may not necessarily have objected to a solar farm if it had been placed somewhere else. So, I mean, they've already accepted 2. So I think the problem is that people on social media have the attention span of a newt. They jump on things and don't fact check. They're not cynical. That it's just a daily rush every day to find the next big issue to get all head up about. And if social media has a problem, I think that's the problem. We're always looking for the latest and greatest viral post, which is the most heartrending, or shows people up to be the most stupid, or nastiest, or gorgeous, or I can't think of any other superlatives, but I think that's the problem with social media, that people are just too lazy to check. they'll pass judgments based on what they see, and so then it becomes not so much a town square, but a lynch mob. And I think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, I think there is another aspect to it in that the people who should be doing the fact checking, I mean, news organizations, newspapers, local media outlets, I think sometimes the problem is that they don't seem to be doing that properly. I mean, if someone comes up with a very far-fetched story, the credibility isn't there. You know, if it's Joe Bloggs writing something pretty outrageous, most people think, wait a minute, that doesn't sound credible. But if it says, oh, you know, quoted from, and you can actually find the source from this particular newspaper or particular media outlet, it gives credence to it. It gives credibility to it. And I think that sometimes, I think, is where things go wrong. That people who should be doing fact-checking, people who should be doing some sort of research before repeating something, they're not doing that. But, as you say, some people are very willing to believe anything that comes through, and, you know, however outrageous things may be, some people are inclined to believe it.
Yeah. Must admit, I'm going to well, of course, I'll appear for Social Media Fridays and for SEO questions on Thursdays. But apart from that, I'm going to take a rest over the holidays. I'm pretty much all jaded out. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah, actually, I can't even get my act together today. I'm like, right, okay, three more days, and I can have a long weekend. Yeah, yeah, I could do not thinking about anything for a while.
Christmas is celebrated in India, is it, Maher?
Yeah, it is. Like it's full of presents, and who does not love presents?
You're looking forward to getting some presents?
No, I'm actually looking forward to give my nieces and nephew presents. They're expecting it.
I see. Anybody else? All right, this one I posted this because I thought this was just fabulous link bait. I don't know if you haven't seen this clip. Click on it now and enjoy it. It is just full of gems. The clip is on YouTube and it's titled "I Am an Instagram Husband." It's got some absolute blinders in it, like the husband saying, "Look, it takes us longer to get anywhere because we're always taking photos of our feet." It's a great commentary on social media. I mean, we've all done it, or at least I have anyway. You see something and you think, gee, I can post that. That'll be interesting. I'll get clicks for that. I'll get links for that. I'll get, and you just do it. But in this clip, it shows what can happen if it becomes extreme. Anyway, I commend that to you. I really think it's a funny one, and that's why I posted it. A great example of how social media can be used. It's funny. It's spot on. It's insightful, and yes, I really loved it. It's been out for a week or two now. I saw other links to it, but I didn't follow them. But somehow or other I chanced across it and just had to share it on here. And isn't that what social media is all about? All right. Any more?
I'm gonna vouch for it. I watched it. It was hilarious. It was very interesting. Seriously, even I can't do that. That's amazing. I think they put together a very good video. I think women's and men's is so addicted to selfies and perfect shots, and I think it's a must-watch for them.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? All right. We are at the point of thank you for watching. We'll be back at the same time next week to do this all again. In between times, there'll be Christmas Day. I wish you all the best for the holiday season on behalf of Tim and Meher and Masataki. We thank you for watching and look forward to doing this again next week.